Bingo. Okay. I see we're recording. Hi, everybody. It's Carlita, surprise, 8:30 on Wednesday night. And I am super excited to be able to bring to you guys one of my dear gifts of Arbonne, which is Micheline Kirsebom. And she is, you guys, I always tell people the miracle of this business is the people that you get to have in your life that you would have never, ever met in your life or known in your life if it had not been for Arbonne bringing you two together. And this is one of those ladies that is definitely that way, and just the sweetest friend that I have. And I love that we don't have any connection to each other, but we would do anything for each other. And this lady, I mean, I asked her if she could do this for me. She's like, well, I'm doing this and this and this, but I think I can still be on there by this time. And I mean, she just made it work because that's who you are. And you guys, she benefits nothing from us and my team other than just the opportunity to love, care, and serve, which is what her heart is all about. And I love her, and I've loved getting to know her. I've gotten to work with her. Really, I think that where we've gotten to have the close relationship and the connection is through working with Arbonne on their healthy living products as well as their programs, and helping develop materials and get things produced to be able to get things out there in a way that everyone can understand the value and the benefits of what we have. Thank you. The benefits of what we have, and be able to feel confident and passionate about sharing it with your worlds. And so I am super excited to introduce you tonight to my friend, Micheline, who is also an executive national vice president and super successful in the Bay Area of California. She's actually in Molly Guile, who is another super successful executive national vice president, Lake Home, for the summer up in Michigan. And so she was showing everybody who got on here a little bit early the lake and the home, and just talking about the wonderful time that they've had. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Mish. You take whatever you need. We usually go about 30 minutes, but I mean, if you go longer, that's okay. But if you go shorter, that's okay too. Just share with us what you know, you want to share from your heart, and let people get to know you and your story a little bit.
I love it. Oh my gosh, Carlita, I would never in a million years say no to you. I have so much respect for you. I can remember being at GTC one year and going, oh my God, you guys, there she is. That's her over there. And I remember seeing you, and I remember you had on a backless dress. You had on a long gown. It was Grand Awards. And I was like, that's the back. That's the back I want. I'm going to get those muscles in those places. So I have been coveting your back for years. I love your back. And then what a blessing to be able to work with you on Nutrition Task Force. It is absolutely, I learned so much from you. I think you are amazing. And probably, I just said it to Molly, probably my very favorite thing is your relationship with your husband, that every time I see it is consistently what I want to have with my husband and what I want my kids to have with their spouses. It truly is so important to me, and you are the best role model on the planet. I love that about you. And the two of you have something so special. And yes, I am at Molly Guile, the Molly Guile's house, you guys. This is her retreat where she goes every year to Gull Lake. I don't know if you can see it. That's the lake in the background there. It is absolutely the most magical place you've ever been. And she says that she gets to do this because of Arbonne. She gets to rent this place for 6 weeks out of the year, 6 weeks in the summer. This is where her husband, Mark, grew up, and they get to create sort of this legacy for their family here because of Arbonne. They get to, who do you know that can be away from their job for a month, you guys? Who do you know whose spouse could be away from their job for a month or more? Like, it's crazy. And they invite all of their friends here one by one, and they absolutely wear themselves out, but it's a happy exhaustion. She's happily exhausted at the end of this summer, and they're going home soon, and I'm sure she's feeling just so great about having this place, and we are fortunate to be able to come here with her. So God bless Arbonne, God bless Molly, God bless all of the people that Arbonne brings into our life. They are so credible, you guys. We have so much credibility in our company. Like, look at Carlita and all the credibility she holds in her little finger just from all the things that she knows from her past. She's credible as credible as she is incredible. And there are so many people like that in Arbonne, and we are so fortunate to get to rub elbows with them or rub screens with them. And I think that's probably the coolest thing about this business is the people that I've been connected to just through being fortunate enough to have fallen into it. So I fell into Arbonne 11 years ago. I was at home. I had been at home for a really long time. My background is in strategic marketing and brand. I actually got my master's degree in 1993 and worked for a little bit after that. And then I had twins, and my twins were born itty bitty. And I'm sure Carlita knows all about itty bitty babies because that was her field before Arbonne. But my babies were born 22 years ago. They were born at 2.5 pounds and 1.5 pounds. And I dropped everything to be home with them because they were super preemies. And you guys, the technology wasn't even there at the time. So they are super preemies, and we're so lucky that they are healthy and happy now. They're 22 years old. I have a 22-year-old boy and girl, and then I have a 19-year-old girl, and they're all off in college. So we're brand new empty nesters. But back when I started Arbonne, I was actually starting my job hunt. I had been home with my twins, and then I ended up having another baby and staying home, and it just kind of snowballed, and I ended up being home for a total of 12 years. So when it was time for me to go back to work, you guys, I didn't even know if I had the skill set to do what I was doing before. I was in marketing, and marketing had changed dramatically from print, radio, and TV. It had changed over to the internet. And so I was going to have to learn a whole new skill set. I was going to have to put my kids in daycare to go back to work. And I didn't even know if the amount of money that I was going to make going back to work was going to be enough to cover what I was going to spend on sending my 3 kids to daycare. So I was really anxious about it. And I ended up just kind of all at the same time. I was about to accept a job that I was really feeling uncomfortable accepting. Right then, my neighbor and friend, Jenny Doherty, came over to my house with a gold bag. She came over with a beautiful gold bag, told me to try it and work on it. And I thought, oh, cute Jenny, that's so sweet, like sweet little thing. What's she doing selling lotions and potions from her living room? Oh, I think I might have even patted her on the head a little bit, like, oh, sweet Jenny. And I went up to my neighbor's house, and I remember thinking, how much could she be making? Gosh, things must be bad in their house if she is doing this side hustle kind of thing. And I thought I'll at least buy some product from her. And you guys, I listened to her. And the one thing that she did that is so important for you to remember is she was reading off of cards during her presentation. And that to me said, this is easy. Man, I could do that. I could totally read off of those cards. She was talking about how amazing the products were, botanically based and no chemical dyes or fragrances, all of that stuff. And I remember thinking, this is 11 years ago. We had not yet been thinking about what was going into our products. We were thinking about, we were just starting to think about trans fats and high fructose corn syrup and those kinds of things. So we were thinking about what was going into our mouths, but we weren't thinking about what was going on our skin. And she was talking about all these things that I found fascinating. So right then and there, I decided I would buy the product. But I still thought, she was probably making a couple $100. So to me, I know a lot of people don't mention the compensation plan in their presentations, but to me, it was a deciding factor on whether or not I was going to do this business. And I'm perfectly comfortable saying that you make 1,000 at the DM level, 1,000 to 4,000 at the AM level, 4 to 10 or more at the RVP level, and 20,000 plus at the top level of the company, because I know that there are people out there that are looking for $1,000. I know that most people are looking for $1,000, but I also know that there are people that need to hear the word 10,000 in order to perk up their ears to listen about this company. Now, if you're not comfortable talking about the compensation when you're doing your presentations, it's also perfectly okay to say that, at the first level, you can make what most people think of as a car payment. At the second level, you can make what most people think of as a mortgage payment. At the third level, you can, I was able to pay my mortgage. I was able to pay my car. I was making what I would consider to be quit your job money at the third level. And at the top level, I call that crazy CEO money. So if you don't want to name numbers, or if your upline doesn't like you naming numbers, you can find another way to say that. But people are going to need to know that you can make more than $200 in this business, okay? Especially if you're talking to someone as credible as someone like Carlita. And the fact is, you guys, if you're not talking to your credible people, you're missing out big time. Don't go dragging in the cat, the person who, you know, lost 3 jobs and man, they totally need money and, you know, their husband just left them and I think they may be drinking too much. And don't bring me that person as your new next business builder. Bring me the successful, amazing people in your life that are already successful in what they're doing, because those are the people that are going to make it in this business, the people that are already successful. So fast forward, I ended up deciding right that minute at my friend's house that I was going to join this business. I was like, I can do this. The products seem amazing. Why wouldn't I do it? I'm in. Got in the car, totally undecided that. I was like, I am out. What was I thinking? I have a master's degree. I don't know anything about cosmetics. At the time, it was only cosmetics. Try and picture your business with no healthy living. Isn't that a crazy thought? But it was only cosmetics. I was like, my mom, what is she going to say? My husband, what is he going to say? Like, oh, there's no way I can do this. And so I dropped it, forgot about it. I got home and I was like, went to bed, forgot all about it, and I couldn't sleep, you guys. I could not sleep thinking about the possibilities of Arbonne. And I want you to know that most people that you talk to, even if they say no or yes or whatever they say at the beginning, they're going to unsay that on their way home, and they're going to unsay that tomorrow, and then they're going to maybe think about it again and then unthink it. So you're going to have to prospect people over and over again. It's not going to be a one-time thing that you prospect someone and they join your business and they're all in and never go out. You're going to have to remind them why this is so amazing. Remind them why they're so amazing to do it. Remind them why you need them and they need you. You're going to have to do that over and over again. And I would even venture to say at the district level, at the area level, at the region level, usually when you get to MVP, you're pretty satisfied and you see all the vision that we see. But I think you're going to need to remind and paint vision for people over and over again in your business. So that's one of my tips, is learn how to paint vision, learn how to see things from other people's eyes, learn how to ask questions about their life until you can put yourself in their shoes and imagine what their day is like, imagine what their life is like, and then start asking questions until you get that point where you can say, gosh, I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but maybe you should do what I'm doing. Like, have you ever thought about it? I'd love to tell you more. And listen to them when they answer you, because they're going to tell you the fears that they have. They're going to tell you, I'm scared. I don't think I know enough people. I'm scared. I don't want to feel like a salesman. I'm scared. I don't have enough money. I'm scared. All they're telling you is I'm scared. And what you're going to do is you're going to reassure them. You're going to validate it. And you're going to say, I totally get it. I felt exactly like you did. I didn't want to be a salesman either, but honestly, it's not what I thought. So let's just get together and I'll tell you more about it. And if nothing else, you'll have something in your back pocket for later if you ever need it. So I always say validate and sweep aside and set up the appointment anyway. But the only way you can get to that point is if you know enough about somebody else to be able to step in to their life and envision it and help them to see how Arbonne might change something for them in their life. Does that make sense? It's probably one of the things that I'm doing the most lately, you guys. I'm asking people right from the get-go, who are 4 people that you think are successful and amazing and exciting and who you'd love to work with and who you could picture yourself working with? Let's talk to those 4 people right away. And maybe if you can imagine it, maybe you can even imagine who their 4 people would be. Maybe their mom, or maybe you know them well enough to know who the 4 people in their life would be. And if you don't, maybe you can at least figure out their circles. What would their circles be? Maybe they're part of their church, or maybe they went to college, or maybe they have friends from their neighborhood, or maybe their kids are really into soccer. Think of their worlds and see if not only could you talk to their 4 friends, but maybe you could even talk to their 4 friends. Now, if you could talk to 20 people in a month that belong to that person, you'll be expanding your network, you'll be expanding their network, and I can almost guarantee you'll have 2 business builders for them by the end of that month. So that's what I try to do, you guys, is to really get people going from the get-go with 4 people that they want to talk to. I don't know if that's something that's new to you or if it's something you're already doing, but that's something that I've been doing that's new and different, and it's working for us. The other thing that I tell everybody is, and I'm going to be careful to say this because Carlita's going to go, wait, I'm going to shut off this Zoom, but stop talking about the product, you guys. Stop leading with the product. I know it's an easy thing to fall back on. I know you've all done the program and you love it. And I know that's where we all tend to go. But here's the thing. People are going to say no to your product. They're even going to say no to your business. They're never going to say no to your why and your vision. So I want you to lead with that why. I want you to say, Carlita, I know you know I'm doing Arbonne, but I'm not sure if I've ever told you why I'm doing Arbonne. I'm doing Arbonne because I've got 3 kids in college. Need I say more? I've got 3 kids in college. I don't want them to come out with a bunch of debt. I want to help them to pay for it. Our kids got to pick the colleges of their choice. And I think that's a blessing that not everybody gets. So I'm doing Arbonne because of that. And my vision for the future is that they might be able to come out of college and be able to start their lives without a lot of debt hanging over them. They might be able to choose their own colleges. That's what I used to say before. But also, I know that a lot of their friends got into awesome colleges that they couldn't go to because their families couldn't afford it. So I don't take it as a given that every family can send their kids to the college of their choice. So that's one of the reasons that I do Arbonne, is to help other people to be able to send their kids wherever their kids are smart enough to get into. And that's a big deal to me. So I like to tell my why up front. And then I like to tell people, I like to try and draw them into that vision. What about you, Sally? You know, I know you've got kids going off to college at some point. I know they're babies now, but gosh, I used to think I needed to be home with my babies. What you need is to be home with your teenagers. Dude, teenagers do scary things. You need to be home. So how are we going to get you home so you can be in their lives and present in their lives when they are ready to go and tackle those scary things? So that's the 2 things I suggest you guys. Talk to everybody about your why and your vision. Help paint a vision for them so clear that they can see it, and then draw them into the vision so that they can see their own life changing, and then see if you can help them find their 4 people and their 4 people. That's my way of starting people out. So Carlita, the reason that you asked me onto this call, I know you thought I was going to get to that at some point. Actually, before I go there, I am going to tell you that I got to district in a couple of months. You guys, that is critical. When people come into your business, it is your responsibility to get them to district as quickly as possible. That means getting them into qual and getting them out of qual as quickly as possible, because until they get out of district qualification, they are at risk for leaving the business. And here's why. They're thinking about Arbonne all the damn time, and it's not making them a red cent. It's just not enough money for them to stay thinking about it any longer. At some point, they're going to go, oh, this is ridiculous. I got to get out of this, right? So it's our responsibility. They don't know how to get to district without us guiding them and nudging them. And yes, you have to nudge them at their speed, but you do have to nudge them forward, because they think they're done. They're like, oh, I placed my startup order. I'm good. Or oh yeah, I had a couple of parties. I'm good. You're going to have to nudge them forward. Like, I think you can do it. I know you can do it. Let's talk to more people. So that's how you're going to nudge them forward. And here's one thing that we figured out recently, and this is super cool, you guys. Every ASVP is worth about 300 or more QV, right? 300. And if you did 10 ASVPs, you'd be doing 3,000 QV in 1 month. So everyone you start should be starting with 10 ASVPs between what they buy and what they sell in a month. That gets them into a solid qual, right? So they usually buy at least 1 nutrition set, at least 1 RE9 set. That means they've got 8 more to sell. That's 2 a week. Can you do it? And if you start up a business builder and they buy 1 of each, well, now you're down 2. Now you only have 6 to go. So if you can think of it in 10 and 10, that is the simplest way I can think of it. Now catch this. If you have 4 people and they're each doing 10 ASVPs, you're in area qualification. So you could do that in month 1. You find 4 people to sell 10 sets, or to find people to sell 10 sets, and you're in area qualification in month 1. You do that 2 months in a row, you're done. And if they find 4 people, they'll be in area qualification and you'll be in region qual. So this whole idea of 10 sets, you guys, has really simplified things for us. If people think of things in sets, maybe you can't sell a set, then you're going to do 150 and 150. That's 2 sets. And that's the least I want you to ever do. But you're going to be signing people up. They're going to buy an ASVP. You sign 10 people up. Boom, you're in a nice, strong qual. So I don't know if that helps you. Okay, now we're going to go over to my game, you guys, because I never used to play games. I hated the stupid game. I was so embarrassed. I'm like, I'm not playing games. never played a game ever, and everyone was doing the envelopes, and people would show the envelopes on my Facebook page, and I'm like, yeah, I don't do that. And so I decided once that I was going to try, I was going to tiptoe. And one of the things I hated about the envelope game, is that what you guys play? You don't. Oh, good. Oh, there we go. Okay, so the envelope game, you guys, never felt like a game to me. It felt like, here's an envelope, you're either going to do a show or you're not. Like, that's what it felt like to me. There's no game in that, right? So the game that I play is called the dice game. I don't know if you've heard of it. You can buy one. I also sent Carlita a link so you can print it out. I actually created a whole dice game set of cards. You can print it right out on cardstock or take it to Kinko's or FedEx and have them print it out. But basically what it is the same thing as the envelope game, but it's got dice involved, so it's a game. So it makes it so much more fun. So here's basically what I do. Okay, so you've got, the cards, and the cards, half of them say you're going to do a demo, and half of them say you're going to win a prize. So my prizes are, a couple of sample packs, maybe a cellular renewal mask or a sample or a little eye primer, but it's some samples, and never an RE9 sample, right? Everybody knows that. Never an RE9 sample at a demo, because you'll never sell RE9 if they know you have samples. So lots of little samples in little bags, and those are the prizes. And there's a demo card. So half say that and half say the other. And then in the number 12 envelope, 12 because nobody ever rolls 12, in the number 12 envelope, I have you win the grand prize. And the grand prize is always a makeup primer, you guys, because what I do is at the end, toward the end of my show, I'm like, oh, okay, so, the way that you could really help Molly out tonight is if some of you would be willing to do a demo for her. All it is you invite a few people over just like this, and she can practice her presentation, and she can meet some new people, and it would really help her to gain her confidence. I know how much you want to support her. Who here is willing to do a demo? Here's what I get. Those are crickets. No one ever says, oh, I'll do one. I never get anyone that says it. They're like, no, 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 no. Okay, so no one wants to do a demo. And I'll say, oh, well, that's okay. Oh, but oh my gosh, I forgot to show you one of my favorite products is this makeup primer. And I squirt it around on everybody's hand. And so everybody's going like this. They're mesmerized. No one's really listening to what I'm saying anymore because they're into that makeup primer. This is like the hypnotism thing. I'm like, okay, makeup primer, do your work. So they're sitting there looking at the makeup primer, mesmerized. And I'm like, well, I'm so glad you like it because that's the grand prize in our next game. So one last game, you guys, just humor me. And here's what I do. I'm actually going to share my screen, because I'm going to show you what I do. Uh-oh, I can't. Host disabled screen sharing. Don't do that. Host, can you enable screen sharing? Or can you click on the link?
Lindsay's working on it, honey. She'll help you. She'll get it. She knows how to do this. She's savvy.
I'm the host now. That's awesome. Okay, let's go here.
Can you share your screen now? Okay, yeah.
Perfect. We're going here. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to scroll through here so you can see. When you print it out, it's going to look a little bit like this. One side's going to say Arbonne, and then the other side's going to say you earned a prize, or you earned a demo, or something like that. And then the last thing that you print is the instruction card. So when you come down here, there's this instruction card. So you're going to have to do some setup. You're going to have to get a pair of dice. You're going to have to get 11 cards and 11 envelopes, and you're going to have to get little prizes and all. So that's your setup. And then you're going to have this makeup primer that has a bow on it that you're going to take to your shows. And so here's what I do. I hand all of the envelopes to the hostess, and I say, you hang on to these. So she's hanging on to the envelopes. And I put the dice in the girl who's like super excited's hands. I actually set the dice in her hand, and I pretend like I'm reading, so I can't really... I'm like giving her the dice like while I'm not looking at her. So she has no choice but to grab them. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to read this. And I literally read, you guys. I say, okay, you guys, I'm going to read this because I don't play this game often, but it's super fun. Okay, I say everyone loves it. And then I'm like, okay, everyone, it's time for us to have some fun. My customers always love this part. I read it. like all the way through for me. And then I'm like, okay, hostess, will you hold the dice for me? And then you put the dice in someone's hand and I say, we're going to play a fun game. It's a game of chance. I have 11 envelopes. No, wait, hostess has 11 envelopes in her hand. And inside each envelope is a card. Some of the cards. So literally, you guys, you read this. Some of the cards say win a prize. Some of them say you've won a demo for 4 friends. And one of the cards says you've won the grand prize. Here it is. I know you all loved it. And I show them the makeup primer. And I say, if you choose to play, you'll roll the dice, and whatever number you roll, I'll give you the corresponding envelope. Don't open it till the end. We're all going to open them together. Here we go. And I hold the box out in front of the girl that has the dice. You guys, these people have just said to me that there's no way they're going to do a show. And they know that there could be a show in one of those envelopes. And weirdly enough, they all roll the damn dice. It's the weirdest thing. Boom, first girl rolls the dice, second girl rolls the dice. We're handing out envelopes all over the place. Nobody's opening them because that was the instructions. And then once everybody has them, and I kind of do, if anybody rolls the same number, I say you can choose. You can share the card that so-and-so has, or you can roll again. And so they can choose to share or roll. It depends how many people are at your event. And we go all the way around the room. And I have the prizes there. And the other thing I have there, you guys, and let me see if I can find these. Actually, I'm not sure I know where to look. But the other thing I have there is something that I call, and I'm going to send these to you. It's called a hosting card. And the hosting card basically says, thank you for hosting. So once they roll, you guys, and then I go back and I say, okay, wait. Sorry, the rest of this card basically says, wait, you know, we're all going to open them together. But if anybody would be willing to host a show before you open your envelope, then you can have the grand prize and whatever you get in the envelope. Still crickets, like literally nobody says yes to that. So I never get anyone that says yes to anything like that. But then I say, okay, everybody open your envelopes. And sure enough, half of them win a prize, and I hand out prizes, and half of them win a demo. You get to do a demo, and I hand them this card. And the card is a commitment card in my eyes. It says, thank you for offering to host an event. I love what I do, but it's completely impossible without help from people like you. Your friends are going to love hearing about everything Arbonne, and you're going to love the rewards. Here's everything you need to know. And I put down the time and the event. I say, okay, you're going to check this out right now. And then on the back of it, it tells them how the night's going to go and what's going to happen and what they can earn. And I'll forward this to Carlita so you guys have this as well. But this is something that works really well because either they're going to get a prize or they're going to get this commitment card, you guys. And it really makes a difference for them to feel like, okay, I guess I'm kind of locked in now. That's what we're doing. So that really helps a lot. And let me unshare my screen. That really helps a lot for us, and that's how we play that game, and it's changed everything. I do not walk away from a show ever anymore without at least 2 shows booked. So that's a big difference from me never having booked a show from a show. So that was my game that you asked me to talk about, Carlita. What else?
So much.
In the background. She's trying to sleep, and I'm in her room.
Who is it? Who is in there, honey? I'm sorry, I missed it.
What'd you say?
Who is in the room with you?
Molly, and she's trying to sleep, and she hasn't been feeling well, and I'm sitting here screaming about
bless her heart.
But she's laughing at us.
Michigan. Well, hi, Maul. I hope you feel better soon. I'm sorry, honey, for making you stay up.
She said, love you, friends.
I know. Love you, too. You guys, I love this. I mean, I really never played the envelope game. I mean, I've always just tried to get bookings off of bookings, and I think different people have different successes. So what I want to say is if it's not broke, don't fix it. But if you want to try and play a game, I love how this, like Mish said, is a game. And it's just, that's the thing is you get people quit focusing on what, you know, they're thinking they're committing to, and they just start having fun. And whenever you have fun in an event, that's whenever they want to do another event, because people don't have a lot of fun today. And so I think that's what games can do. But I do feel like the envelope game is kind of just saying, here, you do this, and here, this person does this. And it's not, you know, I feel like we're just like telling people what we're going to do instead of letting it be fun and let it be a game. And so I heard this, and I know a lot of people do like games and like playing games and having, you know, options. And I thought this one sounded like a lot of fun. And I knew that, you know, people might benefit from it. So Micheline, thank you so much. I love your authenticity, and I love how real you are, you guys, because, you know, we teach group event, and we know groups can look in different for everybody. There's different types of group events today, but it's not easy. There's always a hard part to everything we do in this business, and groups are the smartest, most efficient, fast way to build this business, because you're talking to more people at one time, but they're also not easy to get, because this business is simple, but it's not easy. And I think this just makes it a really fun way to get more of what we need and the ultimate goal of this of activity, which is a group event. So I just am super excited for everybody to get to know you and your sweet, fun, sassy personality that I love so well, and them get to know who you are. And I will tell you, Mo Boger was our guest speaker at our retreat, and she's in your success line, right? And so, you guys, that's this line of people that I know and love so well, that I'm so excited to just let and introduce you every chance I get to more of them, so that you can get to know who this company is. I talked to Jean David, our CEO, this past week, Micheline, and it was so cool, because to hear our CEO talk about how we needed to get out there and give the world this gift. And, you know, we talk about the gift of opportunity and the gift of the products, which we know both are absolutely gifts. But what he said is, he said, what I know the world needs is the gift of the solidarity that this community of people who do Arbonne have, and the rest of the world doesn't have this, and they need that. And we've got to do whatever we can to get this gift of solidarity out there to our worlds. And I want you to know you're a part of my solidarity. You are a part of why I love doing what I do, because I get to do it with people that challenge me to make me better, but love me, and I get to love back. And so thank you for who you are to me, and for letting me introduce my team to you.
Oh my gosh, Carlita, I am so honored to just be anywhere that you are, and to just be within the striking distance of your voice. You guys, you have no idea how lucky you are. This woman is amazing. I'm so honored to be part of this tonight. And honestly, I look at all of you guys on this screen, and man, you have a lot of people that join your Zooms. I need the trick to that thing. But you guys, I feel like if you're on this Zoom, it's because you want to grow this business. It's because you want to make something happen. It's because you see that you have greatness and that you can empower other people. And I feel like it's our responsibility to pass this thing on. But here's what I truly believe, and I hope no one takes offense to this, but I truly believe that when you move up the levels of Arbonne, you are the evidence to other people that this works. It's your responsibility to be that evidence. When you stay where you are stagnant, or when you don't move, or when you quit, you are also the evidence that this doesn't work. So go be the evidence that this works, because it does, and you can change lives. I know that sounds trite, but you can change the way people live, not just your life. You can change other people's lives. You can change your kids' lives, your spouse's life. You can be there for your family when they need you, your parents, your kids, whoever needs you, your friends. You can be there, and it is your responsibility to show everybody how well this works. People are waiting for you. People are waiting for you to step up and stop playing small, and to make this work. You guys, you know how to do it. And I don't know where you're sitting right now, but man, if you were where I am right now in Michigan, if you're not here, you should be running here, because honestly, I think people here need this, and they're just getting ready for it. They're finally ripe to what we have to offer. I'll tell you, in California, we've been talking healthy living forever, since 2000 and whatever, but the rest of the country is dying, literally. They're dying to hear about what we have to offer. So go out and don't be quiet, and don't play small. You go out and make this happen for yourself and for everybody who's waiting for you. Mm-hmm. Carlita, absolutely. I love you. Mwah. Thank you, dear.
I love you too. Thank you so much. And I owe you, if I can do anything for you, you just let me know. I'm there for you too. So love you. Love you, Mal. Mwah. Bye, guys.
Bye. Molly says she loves you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Those juices from